All right, Mom, this bud's for you. Here comes my rendition or my recollection of owning and then releasing into the wild the '69 Camaro, ineffectually known as Shannon. If you have any other memories, or if anybody has any other memories or recollections of this vehicle, I dare you
I triple dog dare you
to put them in the comments below. Speaking of the comments below, in the description, I added a couple of links for you to have fun with. They're kind of old news, but a little bit of fun. Let's get to the intro.
Kick it!
Hi everybody. Really sad, dismal, boring day here in Deming, Indiana. It's way too early o'clock in the morning, and it's a sad day because today is the last day of the '69 Camaro. Bought this car about 15 years ago from a good friend of my brother's when we were in elementary school, middle school, high school. And when we were in high school, he owned this car, and he had a really cool engine in it, nice big transmission. It does have a Ford 9-inch rear end in it right now that has been in there since I've known the car. Pretty cool. These rims are brand new, basically. They were never on the car when I owned it. And you can see right down here, we got a little bit of a situation going on that I'll tell you about here in just a second. But this car was owned in high school and had a lot of fun in it. Kind of intimidating because of all that it was about and how much beef it had and meat for a kid in high school. But had a lot of fun with it in high school. The one day, talking to the owner, still friends with, let me know that, hey, I'm selling the Camaro. And I said, hey, I got great news. I'm buying the Camaro. So bought the car, no engine and transmission in it because he sold that out of it. So I had a roller, and immediately got on the phone with a friend of mine in Florida who I went to high school with, also now owns a machine shop in Venice where I went to high school, and called him up and said, hey, I got a roller and gonna need an engine and transmission. And we kind of went through, what do you want, what kind of horsepower, what kind of price, and that kind of thing. So talked that through, came up with this bad boy 383 stroker that he had put together for me. So got the rolling chassis put on a semi, sent it down to Florida, and went down on vacation and spent the best vacation of my life wrenching on this car on vacation, putting the engine in it, dialing in a lot of things, getting some of the other little things tweaked, like brakes that you don't really need. They're kind of a luxury. Don't worry about them. They're 4-wheel anti-stop drum brakes on it anyway. So got those fixed, and in the evenings when we get done working on it down in Florida, we end up driving it around an industrial park that the machine shop was in, and didn't have exhaust on it. Had headers, so we had open headers there, big boy 1 7/8 or so, I think, and going into a 3.5 collector. So in the evenings when no one was working in the industrial area, we'd take it out and have some fun with it. Eventually, I think originally we switched the second and third gear by accident because they're kind of close together where you're linking them up, and went through some fun there figuring that out. And then sent the car, at the end of the vacation, sent the car back up here to Indiana, and I bought the exhaust kit. It does have hookers because, I mean, you love hookers, right? Everybody loves hookers. But it's got hookers on it, so I bought a kit from, I believe, Flowmaster. Got some 40 series mufflers on there. Up underneath here, I'll show you. Got 3-inch exhaust from the collector all the way out, and they went the right way up over the back of the axle and stuff like that. But started to do a little bit of research and found out that there was something that I didn't even know about.
I didn't know.
That I just had to have. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it does have electronic cutouts on it. So when I found out about those, I had to have that. And there's a switch up here that you can hit that I've got conveniently tucked away in the glove box. I don't know if you can see it because it's just so dark in here. Yeah, the switch is right here. And hold this switch down about 5 seconds or so, and it dumps the exhaust, makes it sound like a NASCAR basically. So that's a lot of fun, and it's a big surprise at the stoplights when people are sitting next to you, because all of a sudden they think something's wrong with their car, and it's not. There's something wrong with this car. And so that's fun. The fast forward, it's like 15 years and I'm just not spending enough quality time with this thing, because I love it to the bare metal. It's one of the best parts of my life for a long time, but it just wasn't spending enough time with it. And talking constantly to the original owner, my buddy says, "Hey, I think I'll buy that from you," because I was always asking if, making fun that you can buy it back. And he said, "I think I'll take you up on that." So it's got a tilt steering column, maybe out of a Corvette or something, I don't know. It has a M21 4-speed, because when I was in a hurry in Florida putting the motor in, I couldn't find a rock crusher. Wanted the M22 really bad, but they're just not available at that time especially. So couldn't do that 15 years ago. But M21 works great, does a good job. The car does have, for some reason, kind of cool, kind of not cool, depending on what you think, but the sunroof is out of, I believe I was told, a Honda Accord. So the whole roof line is Honda Accord. It's cut in there. It is power. It's got a power sunroof in it. It does not have a headliner in it. So that's about the only piece of interior that was left to do besides reskinning these seats, which I'm gonna give to them because I do have the skins for them. But everything else is pretty much done interior-wise for the most part. Back to some kind of original stock piece. Power windows, and let's see, got a nice big tack on there. That'll kind of take me to what's going on in here. Put these new sweet rims on here, torque thrusters, nice big beefy things, 17s I think, and went to go take the maiden voyage with my buddy with those on it, because the tires that I had on it were the same ones that he had on it 15, 20, whatever, 25 years ago. Those things were locked up. They were pretty much baloney skin tires that they just never hooked up at all. So put these on it just to take it for a rip and see what it felt like to have the car actually grab the road and take off and launch, which was really fun until about the second time we tried it. It went from first to second gear, and then tried to go into third gear, and I heard a pop.
What the hell is even that?
And the clutch just went to the floor loosely. So coasted for a good long ways and ended up hooking it up to my truck and towing it back here. We were only about a mile away from the house, so no big deal. But that got us up on blocks here, trying to figure out where the clutch fork seems to have disconnected inside the bell housing. And that's what we're trying to investigate now. But to get in there to see what's going on, we had to pull one of the headers off, which just ended up being a all morning job, and then had to go do some other stuff and took off. So coming back today, probably try to pull that header out of there and try to get see what's going on inside the bell housing, if we can connect that fork. If not, we're gonna pull the transmission is the plan today, which isn't that big of a deal. It's not fun, but it can be done fairly quickly. Pull that out of there, see if we can reconnect that clutch plate so that he can at least drive it home. If not, we're just gonna load it up on a trailer and he's gonna trail it home today, tonight, tomorrow, something like that. But I think that's gonna be about the end of the storyline here about the 69 Camaro. This thing's really cool. It's got 3, almost 4 pedals in it. It's got might be a
Sucker, all it is medulla oblongata.
speedometer would be. It's got miles on it. It's got, you can tell where the gas gauge is. I mean, it is so full that it's basically in the back seat and the trunk. There's so much gas in this thing.
It ain't got no gas in it.
It's got the cutouts there we talked about. It's got several gauges. This thing, whew, look at that. This is a Hurst short throw shifter, which is, I call it the can't find the gear shifter, because it is so, those gears are so close together. Banging through them is almost painful.
Too much pain. Too much pain.
Okay. Bye.
It has a seat in the back with what looks like where someone might have tried to put in their own headrest or something. I don't know, but this thing is awesome. A couple of cool things just happened. One is this mammoth behemoth pulled up here, and other thing that's going on right now, cool, is this.
Oh, would you look at this?
Dad got me this, found it someplace in an antique shop or something. And for those of you that are in the know, 29A is Hamilton County, which is where the DMG is, where Deming, Indiana is. And it's going on there because that guy over there, got this thing registered with this plate, which you can do in Indiana. So he is gonna have a 1969 license plate on this bad boy where that thing was. So you're not supposed to show license plate numbers, but this thing's probably going to be target practice with one of the ARs at some point. But so that's that. Other thing that we kind of just remembered about, Mike's going to be hauling this thing on a trailer back to Maryland, ND. And in order for him to do that, I am going to have to figure out this little surprise. So remember I said power windows before. Well, there they are. I don't know what vehicle I pulled that apparatus out of. I'm pretty sure it was in the junkyard, and I found it over here near us. And then, you know, immediately did a completely professional wiring job. I think I might actually have some of the wires labeled in there, which might work out to our advantage, hopefully. But that's the next process, is to get windows up. It does have a sunroof out of a, I want to say 80s Honda Accord, which is completely D-spec. Not A-spec, not J-spec, but this is D-spec for Deming. The whole roof is actually part of the car. It's not just the sunroof, the part that was pulled out, but it was pasted in there.
I saw this boat in half.
Really good job on it. Totally waterproof and easy to go, but a lot of people, I would say, don't like is not strong enough. They hate this sunroof in this car. I don't know. So we're over now at the barn that does not belong to me in any way, shape, or form, but I have a lot of items over here that are kind of my thing. So back here in the corner of this barn that doesn't belong to me is a pile of sweet goodness that looks like blankets, but there's other things in there. At the bottom, starting at the bottom of the pile, what did we call this, Mike? The factory
tactical French horn case.
Tactical French horn that came, it's D-spec. So it's got that going for it. A car cover that doesn't belong to the Camaro, but there is the original factory center console that came with it. You could tell it's offset where the shifter goes because it's a short throw, can't find the gear shifter. And then some other goodies are on top of here too that go with the car. So I told you that this thing had a Ford 9-inch in it, but that wasn't good enough for this guy over here. He had to have a Mosier one that was a little bit better sized, probably to help out with the offset on the tires, because I think we determined that the 9-inch that's in it right now is out of a, what did I say, a Grand Marquis or something like that? Ford Grenader. Yeah. So it'll take a grenade, but this is a Ford Zero Bolt that's going in it next. Son, you pop that clutch one more time, your transmission's gonna fall out. I don't have the end of this video. The footage that I took was the Camaro on the back of this U-Haul trailer being pulled by the Dodge, riding off into the sunset. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it that this video is over.